What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cullen's Music Corner. I'm Cullen the Great. We are continuing on with our March Music Month. We are diving into episode number 13, which is going to be a song from the 80's, y'all. Yeah, a little disco era. Ooh, 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 ooh. As I'm sure a lot of people out there know, there are hundreds, even thousands of songs from the 80's that are still really relevant in today's music world. So this was kind of a tough one for me to kind of piece together, especially since I didn't know how many songs that I really liked were from the 80's. I always just kind of assumed that it went for me like classic rock in the 60s, 70s. I kind of skipped over the 80's and went straight to the 90's, but that is in fact wrong. There's a lot of music that I like from the 80's. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the 80's, baby. Yeah. And of course, one of the most famous songs from the 80's era, I guarantee just about everybody out there knows it. It is going to be the song I am choosing today. It is also a very motivational phrase or saying, but just don't stop believing, y'all. That's right. Journey's probably one of Journey's biggest hits, if not their biggest hit. Don't Stop Believing is going to be what we're talking about today. There's a lot of really cool stuff on this song, a lot of background that goes into it that not a lot of other songs sort of have. That's kind of what I like about earlier classic rock and earlier rock and roll, is that people didn't just write a song to write a song. It was a reflection of their personal life and kind of the things that they were going to, which unfortunately I feel like we've kind of steered away from in today's society. Everybody's just rapping about what they hear on the radio, or everybody's just singing about what they want to sing about, rather than just a reflection of your personal life. But that's kind of what Journey did with this song, and I think that's why it saw the commercial success it did. Although the commercial success for this song came at not at a much later date. It was successful when it first came out, but it didn't reach its highest chart peak until 2010, I believe, when Glee did a cover to the song Don't Stop Believing. So one of the earliest memories I have of this song, it's kind of funny. I was in the locker room in 7th grade. We had just finished running or doing the mile lap or whatever the heck you do in 7th grade PE. And somebody all the way on the other side of the locker room shouted at the top of their lungs, "Just a small town girl." And then somebody on my side goes, "Living in a lonely world." And then right back over, it goes, "She took the midnight train." And then everybody in the locker room went, "Going anywhere." It was super cool. It was definitely something that you would see out of a show like Glee. But I just thought it was so funny because it was out of nowhere. This person started singing that, and then everybody joined in. And it was just kind of a cool thing that brought everybody together, which, again, is why I like music. But that's probably one of the earliest memories I have of this song. Definitely one of the most quirky memories I have of this song. But it's just overall such a good track. It's so hard not to listen to it and be a fan of it. The background information on it is actually really cool. So the keyboardist, Jonathan Cain, he was the one that kind of came up with the idea of the song. When they were writing this album, they asked him like, "Hey, do you have any songs that we can sing, that we can record?" And he had this notebook that his father had given him when he had first moved out to LA and he had first started trying to make a name for himself in the music industry. And he called his dad one day and said, "Hey, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I making a bad choice?" And his dad was basically just like, "No, son, stay there. Don't stop believing." And so Jonathan Cain wrote that in this little notebook. And then obviously he met up with Journey, or the Babies as they were known at that time. And then fast forward a couple years when they ask him, "Hey, do you have a song you want to write for us?" He pulls out that notebook and finds that page and starts thinking, "Don't Stop Believing." His brain's starting to move a little bit. But when it came time to actually write the song and have it change from just an idea in a notebook, Jonathan Cain was actually driving down Sunset Boulevard, and he was looking around and he saw a bunch of people just up and down the street, waiting to get into stores, just walking, doing whatever they were doing as pedestrians on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. I mean, they're being tourists, I guess. I don't know. But he said he was driving down and he couldn't help but notice all the people waiting, which if you go and look at the lyrics, they actually have word for word sitting outside waiting on the boulevard. So it shows you that this song really was a reflection of what they were seeing and what they were living in that moment as he was driving up Sunset Boulevard and saw these strangers waiting outside. What? There's so much cool stuff about this song. Like Mike DeJang, I don't know if I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. From AllMusic, described this as one of the most perfect rock and roll songs of all time, stating that intro keyboard riff, wink wink, Jonathan Cain, his whole idea for this song, that intro keyboard riff is one of the most iconic rock and roll keyboard riffs of all time, which I would have to agree with, considering the song is as popular as it is now in 2021 as when it came out in the 80s. Alrighty guys, that just about does it for me here at Cullens Music Corner. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my videos. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are having as much fun watching these March music videos as I am making them. I just really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these videos, so thank you again. I'm interested to hear what song from the 80s you currently are listening to and a song from the 80s that you don't ever want to get rid of. Let me know down in the comment section below. While you're at it, you might as well hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You can follow me on all of my social medias. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram under @CullenTheGreat_. You can find me on Facebook under Cullen the Great. And of course, me and All My Music on your favorite streaming service under Cullen the Great. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. And until next time, peace.